What's going on, guys? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to today's episode of Soulsborne Academy / psychologically gaming, because that's kind of what it is. We're doing a mix and a matchup. It's also my last night of being in my 20s. Kind of shook. Let's get into today's Soulsborne Academy episode, which is going into Bonfires for beginners. Now, this is going to be, like I said, part Soulsborne, part psychologically gaming. We're going to dive into the philosophy behind the bonfire. Now, I say philosophy behind the bonfire because I have this theory that a bonfire is not just a save point, it's a part of the human soul, that incorporeal part of what makes the hollow a hollow. This video is also going to be short, sweet, and to the point, by the way, because I realize that this is a very late upload, but I'm doing things behind the scenes, and you guys are going to see it very, very soon. Insert evil laughter here. So from a Soulsborne Academy perspective, when we look at the functionality of a bonfire, it's a place where you can go, you can rest, you can recharge, you can up the ante on your skills and make yourself more powerful to defeat more challenging bosses and enemies. Like how you can immediately go to a bonfire if you're quick enough and you can just reset the world and it'll be fine, because sometimes when you're near like an enemy cesspool, you can immediately go there, recharge, revamp everything that you need to revamp if you've gotten enough souls or echoes, whatever, you know, a Soulsborne game it is, and you can just recharge yourself and it'll be fine. There's especially a great place in the very first Dark Souls games where you have massive amounts of bonfires behind illusory walls. So keep that in mind. Just, you know, hit every single cave wall that you come across and you'll find illusory walls at some point. You can also get to a certain part in Dark Souls 1, you can go between bonfires and have fast travel, but you need to beat Smo and Ornstein first and get to Lady Guinevere. A bonfire not only is a place of rest, but it serves as kind of like this story plotline to an extent for the first game to rekindle the first flame. And you also have a boss battle at the very end of Dark Souls 3, which is called Kin of the First Flame. It's basically a culmination of every single boss that you have fought within Dark Souls 3, which it's kind of fitting too, because the boss actually holds the bonfire as its weapon, the bonfire sword as its weapon. So that's the importance of it story-wise and what its main function is, because its main function is just to heal you. It's, you know, to, you know, up the ante on your powers, your stats, all that kind of stuff. And it also serves as a story purpose. Now, where my theory comes in and where it kind of switches over to be kind of a psychologically gaming point is that I believe the first bonfire that you go into, that is the activation of the hollow soul. Now, I really hope this doesn't go over your head, okay? I honestly hope not, because this is something I thought of before, and I wanted to do a video on this so much, even though it sounds silly, but I really think that when you go into Dark Souls, anytime that you visit a bonfire or take a piece of humanity at a bonfire, so you know how when you go to a bonfire, you can only use your humanities when you are at a bonfire. It'll have like a little prompt to be like, oh yeah, you want to use your humanities? Yeah, sure, Ken, I'll use my humanity. I feel like that's so fitting to my theory, because whenever you go through each bonfire, you're literally regaining your lost humanity, your lost memories, if you will. Whenever you go to each bonfire and you've beaten a certain boss, you've earned that kind of memory or that part of your soul back, if you will. So my theory is as goes, if you can only get your humanity and use your humanity that you've collected from these other hollows and these other, you know, spirits that have since passed, and you can only use them at your bonfire, that means that the rekindling of your humanity is from kind of the fire within yourself. I know this sounds all over the place. I know it sounds kind of like, Ariel, what are you saying right now? Going into your first bonfire, when you are in the very first Dark Souls game, you are a newborn soul. You're this hollow. You don't know what you're doing. There's a knight that's just died. Like, what exactly is happening here? And you go to your first bonfire and you kindle that first flame within yourself to keep going and to keep working on things. And each flame that you kindle after you've beaten a boss, it gets more powerful. This is why you earn humanities after. I'm not saying this as a fact, I'm just saying this as an opinion. This is why you earn humanities after each boss battle, because you're getting strength, you're getting a sense of purpose, if you will. And it was even a thought that I had whenever I was playing the first Dark Souls game. I was like, keep in mind, I didn't know that you got humanities or, you know, like the little sprite things after you beat a boss. I just was like, huh, this is interesting. Why do you get these after you beat a boss? And I thought, okay, maybe this is a form of your collecting back your humanity, or the humanity that you have lost over the journey possibly that you have traversed on. But yeah, that's my take on it. I feel like the theory of, you know, the kindle of the bonfire is basically like you're rekindling your soul. You're using humanities at a bonfire to kind of like reignite your humanity, to reignite the fight that you have to continue on. And it's really fitting too, because when you fight Lothric, after that boss battle, and even during the boss battle and before, like when you get into that opening cutscene, I feel like he is one of the most diverse bosses in the entirety of Soulsborne literature, because when you go and you look at that boss, he's literally telling you that life is pointless. Why keep trying? And I find that so revolutionary whenever you look at the boss from more of a human perspective instead of a Dark Souls boss, it's difficult perspective. Because then you truly see why the character is the way they are and what kind of message they're trying to deliver to the player. It's so refreshing to see. Whenever I was looking at different games before, they didn't leave a spark in me the way the Dark Souls series has. And I feel like it's so cool and so meaningful and impactful that they use humanities to describe someone who's searching for their own flame within themselves. It's massively amazing. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the bonfires and the humanities and all that kind of stuff. If you guys want, I can go deeper into the psychology of what the humanities represents within Dark Souls. I think I've done episodes on this before, but yeah, I can go deeper into it if you guys want me to. The whole psychology behind Dark Souls, I feel like it's perfect because there is a lot of psychology within that series. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. Sorry again that this video was late, and may you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.